This is your 5-minute fix. Mark wrote in and asked, can you offer any tips for playing scales up and down the fretboard? Playing across isn't a problem, but I get lost moving vertically. Okay, well, let's talk about this. We're going to take some single string scales so you can start visualizing between these patterns. Let's do A minor pentatonic. That's going to be the easiest one for everybody. We have A, C, D, E, G, and A. Those are our notes. And here's pattern 1 that everyone knows. Then we go to pattern 2, no problem there. But moving between them is a problem. Well, the truth is that we have these scales on each single string as well too. So if you map out all the scales across the fretboard and you just let yourself play one string only, you get to see how that scale looks across a single string. So if we have A, C, and we stay on the low string, D, E, G, A. And actually have a G here, E, G, A. I can do it all in one string. Here in the open position, open is my root, A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G. I'd start to practice these on a single string first so you can start to see them vertically and horizontally. So here's D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, C, E. I just played them all up and down all of the strings pretty quickly. Why? Because I practiced this before. But it's really important to be able to visualize these scales, how they move one way and across the strings in another way. The next thing we're going to do is start connecting patterns by shifting with just one string. Let's do pattern 1 and pattern 2 of A minor pentatonic. Now I'm going to pick a string where I'm going to move up to pattern 2. So I'm going to do the high E string. I'll go up the pattern. Now notice when I got to my highest note of pattern 1, I shifted to my third finger instead of using my pinky because I knew that's the finger I wanted to end up on that new pattern. And on the way back, I used my first finger to slide back because I knew that's what I wanted to have on the 5th fret when I got back to first position. Now you can do this for every string. That was the high E. Let's do the B string. Let's do the G string. I went back using my first finger. We'll do the D string. Now you can also shift with the first finger. For this one, 1, 3, 1, 3, and then on my first finger on the D string, I'll slide that up, and that's going to put me in position to get that pinky. On the A string. And then on the low E string. Another way that we can move between patterns is using a different system. This is called 3 notes per string. And what 3 notes per string is playing those scales, but making sure that you hit 3 notes, like the name. But what it does is it takes you out of position. If I was to do A minor, the full scale, those other 2 we did were pentatonic. This is for the full scale here. So we're going to play A natural minor. And every string where you only have 2 notes in this pattern, we're going to add 1. So we have 1, 3, 4, that's A, B, C, D, E, F, that's 1, 3, 4, 1, 3. And that's usually where it ends. We will move on to the next string, but we're going to make sure we get 3 notes for the string. So that's A, we need a B. So it's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So now we're at the 5th fret, and we have a C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now, as I went all the way up to this 3 notes per string, I started in pattern 1, but I ended in what we know as pattern 2. These 3 note per string scale patterns move diagonally, and they move you up into a next position. So it's a very smooth way. You can play legato because it's 3 notes. You can do a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs, but it's a very smooth way to move from one to the other. I tend to use 3 notes per strings when I'm playing fast, and I have faster runs. And I tend to use the regular system when it's just normal playing because I'm close to my arpeggios and chord patterns that are easier to play there. And before we wrap up, just a quick reminder, I don't take sponsors on the show. I am my own advertiser. That means everything you hear here is supported by the courses and the resources that I create for you. And the best starting point, Blues Solo Breakthrough. It's my free 6-part email course. It's designed to take the mystery out of soloing and help you start sounding like the player you've always wanted to be. Grab it free right now at playguitaracademy.com/Blues Solo Breakthrough.